good people? Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hey, we getting ready to do this one. Let me let everybody know we are live. We are live from the sold out arena. How y'all doing this morning? Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Wookie. Good morning, Hope. Diddy, dun dun. Diddy, dun dun. What's up, Janie? How y'all doing? What's good morning, AP? Jack just mad he ain't invited to Diddy party. Yep, let's go over here and see what he says. Let's go over here and have to see what he has to say this morning. I might rewind him a little bit. But I gotta roll up.
We'll be doing our show from now on. So now y'all can't send these homeless drug addicts out here to harass me. How about that?
Homeless drug addicts, huh?
Morning, my brothers.
How long these homeless drug addicts been going at you, Jack? Oh, here they come. More homeless drug addicts.
Good morning. Right the F on. He trying to stop an accident from happening. The other guy is trying to rush somebody else. We on two different times over here, fam.
Mind your own business, Jack. It pays off better. This is the man with
And
almost 100,000 subscribers, y'all.
A cop driving down the street, and the dude was honking a horn to try to rush the other people.
Almost 100,000. What's up, James?
Also about to try to cross
Hello,
the street
bro.
right here.
Freddie.
So
Hi,
this
Jenny.
dude is trying to cause all type of different commotion in the intersection. You got pedestrians walking. You got cars coming out of an area where they can't see down the block because it's like a little. So, sometimes we got to be patient, fam.
We're working a little bit.
Wherever we got to go, we going to get there when God deems it's time. You feel me?
What?
Sometimes you just got to be patient.
Well, I think you're about over now.
Shout out with the next license plate.
I think you're just about up talking today, huh?
That type of time.
What type of time, Jack? What type of time? You ain't on no time, Jack.
Somebody asked me what I do for a living. I said I be me.
It ain't getting you very far, is it?
And then I thought about that shit, and I'm like, you know what? I do be me for a living. Like, literally. Like, that's what I've been doing for the last 8-9 years. I've just been being me for a living.
I just been being me, guys. I just been being me. Yeah, okay, Jack.
All of the things.
Listen to him just fucking.
Anything else y'all want to talk about? My phone is dying. Y'all got to let me know now so I can say it. So I could respond to whatever y'all want to talk about. Anything y'all want to talk about, or y'all just enjoying just having me just ranting and talking about whatever I'm talking about? Because it seems like y'all have a good ass time with me just talking and shit.
Is that what it seems like?
I love your plate in the front, by the way. Boom. Big Nick fan over here.
Excuse me.
Come on. Our battery is about to die. What else y'all want to talk about? Put it in the chat.
Straight up thief.
It's a big week this week. So I'm going to put y'all on to what we're doing. It's a big week this week.
Here we go.
100% starting our gaming stuff this week. But I had one thing. So I was talking to one of our, I'm going to say staff members.
Staff members.
Staff members. They also want to do a gaming where
this motherfucker said one of our staff members. Oh man, I can't with this dude, bro. I just can't, man. We're gonna talk to one of our staff members.
with racing. They also want to do racing. And I'm like, you know what? I think that's a good idea also. Because if we was gaming on Switch, which we might also, I would definitely do Mario Kart, like hands down. So I think we should do some gaming. But also, that just gave me an idea also right now. Y'all know Smash Bros? They have something that's tantamount to that on PlayStation.
That's a fact, James.
We might do that also.
Said he calling
I
his
want to get
staff
a lot of
members.
Games that we're going to be using that could have
he'll do anything to hype you up, bro.
Community in there, and that we could also, tournaments. I want to do tournaments. And I think and I also want to do tournaments. So I think that's the win. That's the win. So we're gonna be doing.
You think so, huh?
What's tantamount? We're gonna be doing the thing that's tantamount to Smash Bros. Just so we can be
tantamount.
Clear.
We're gonna be doing a thing that's tantamount.
I used to have the game a while back, a couple of years ago when it first dropped, like 7, 8, 9 years ago. And
yeah, it's how old the game is, dude. I can't believe
the dude that's like Indiana Jones. I forgot his name and shit. And we're gonna be having walkthroughs. So just so y'all know, we're gonna be doing our gaming at night. So we got people getting home. So when we do start our gaming, it's gonna be like around 11:30 and on 11:30 p.m. and on. And on the weekends is when we're gonna do our tournaments, so we can line our tournaments up on the weekend. So that's the idea. I got a staff. We're also gonna be creating a brand new Discord server, so everybody can know what's going on, and so we can reach out to people who are not a part of our community, but would like to be a part of our gaming side of our community. And we are going to also be creating merch. Because
more merch.
I am going to be buying a shirt machine, a shirt press. Shit, did I just break this shit? Ah, fuck. We might need to buy a new one of these in any regard. I got glue at home. We're not going to be buying a new one. So we're also going to be, I'm also about to cop a shirt press. So we're going to have a lot of things that we're going to be doing. I'm also going to be making physical on-hand
loaded with the right software.
For the location that I currently live in, Coney Island.
Shut the fuck up,
and Seagate. So we're going to also be.
I'm also going to be buying a shirt press, guys.
Just regular
I'm going to be buying a shirt press. What's up, Sin? This is BBN Network, Jack Frost. You didn't know?
Doing those things. So we're going to see.
Everybody knows Jack.
Good morning.
How's he going to get a shirt press?
He's going to try to make all of those.
And you have to have the software to run the programs that you use. Man, he's a liar, bro. This dude is just a liar. I'm going to run a shirt press. Yep. I ain't got no computer to run it, though. Hell, I can't even get on live with my computer. Stupid, bro. Stupidity.
That was weird.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Shout out to the Chizat, baby.
Morning,
how y'all doing this morning?
You too. You're the bus driver and shit. Most of the bus drivers that drive past, say what's up. That guy was like, I don't want to be a part of the cool side. I don't want to be a part of the cool kids. right, we had an hour and a half. I'm gonna let y'all go. Everybody have a blessed day. I don't see no reason we won't have a live tomorrow morning. We should be having a live tomorrow morning. Don't worry, I don't care how much they try to DDoS.
She stayed off. She didn't come on last night. She didn't stay on last night. How's everybody's morning though, man? I mean, I hope you guys have a good morning. I've only got a couple hours on here, maybe 2 tops, but we're gonna try to go over some things. Right now, we're covering BBN. I'm gonna move into the Diddy content. I think we can talk about that a little more today.
I'm just gonna keep going till it works. So I might have to try it 40 times. I might have to try it 50 times. But we're gonna have a live tomorrow morning.
I'm proud.
I don't care how hard they're trying to DDoS us. I'm just gonna keep trying until the shit works.
DDoS.
That being said, I love y'all. Please go out there in the world. Do something worth doing. Do something that adds value.
What the fuck?
I might have to try it 40 times. I might have to try it 50 times. But we're gonna have a live tomorrow morning. I don't care how hard they're trying to DDoS us. I'm just gonna keep trying until the shit works.
DDoS. What in the fuck does that mean? Can somebody help me? What has Jack been watching using? Well, that's what she always does.
With that being said, I love y'all. Please go out there in the world, do something worth doing. Do something that adds value to somebody else other than yourself. And then stamp God's name on it. We doing God's work. Today's Sunday also. But every day, we doing God's work. We're not doing man's
Sunday,
work.
everybody.
We're not doing Satan's work. We doing God's work.
You ain't done a piece of God's work in your life, Jack.
Join the notification game.
You haven't done nothing in God's name.
I love y'all. Take care of each other.
Shut up,
Hug
dude.
the kids for me. I haven't forgotten about you. And that's all I got on this one. I'm out.
Yeah, you didn't make $1. This motherfucker has 100,000 subs, y'all. 100,000 subs and cannot get 10 people in his chat. That's shadow banned, bro. That's what you call shadow banned for real. This man is shadow banned. I think he's shadow banned. That's what you call shadow banned right there, man. What's up, Cuddy? Oh, they DDoS'd Twitter when Elon was interviewing Trump. DDoS? Is that what he's talking about? DDoS? DDoS. People are going to DDoS Jack? Wow. What the fuck? That's what I want to talk about right here.
That led to Diddy's arrest in the way of multiple civil suits brought by accusers. And in some of those suits, co-defendants are listed, and in others, celebrities. Could it be a time of reckoning for them too? We're taking a deep dive into all the celebrities listed in Diddy's civil lawsuits and whether they too could face federal charges. I'm Sierra Gillespie, and this is Law and Crime News. A groundbreaking case brought forth just this week when 54-year-old Sean Diddy Combs was arrested on September 15th. He now faces some pretty serious federal charges: racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by forced fraud or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Diddy was indicted by a federal grand jury and is now being held in Brooklyn at the Metropolitan Detention Center after he was twice denied bail. Diddy's attorneys say he was in New York for about a week before the arrest, anticipating the federal indictment.
Man, they got Diddy in a
only one who
they got Diddy butt ass naked.
Federal investigators
they got Diddy butt ass naked in a fucking Barney Rubble costume. Yeah. They got him in there wearing a Fred Flintstone outfit. They got these things, man, and they're basically just like a real thick polyester, all sewn together a million times. And they got a front piece and a back piece. And then they're Velcroed together. That's what Diddy's wearing. Just that. They got Diddy on suicide watch, man. They got Diddy on suicide watch.
Raided two of Diddy's homes back in March. We kind of had an idea something was on the way. Just this week, we learned some of the items that investigators collected during those raids of Diddy's homes in both Miami and Los Angeles. According to the indictment against Diddy, investigators seized more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants from his homes. The court doc states that these items were used in something referred to as freak-offs, which were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, masturbated during, and often electronically recorded. According to prosecutors, Diddy and his associates transported commercial sex workers over state lines and even internationally. Diddy then allegedly gave these sex workers and victims controlled substances, at times unbeknownst to the victims. Prosecutors say Diddy did this to keep the victims obedient and compliant. He then took videos of victims having sex with these sex workers, sometimes without their consent. After all this, both Diddy and the victims would receive IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion and drug use. Federal investigators say that during the raids of Diddy's homes, they collected some of these recordings showing the disturbing details of these freak-offs.
What's up, T?
And
the craziness of having someone come in with IVs because people have been fucking so much is crazy, bro.
Had a heads up about these recordings thanks to some of the civil lawsuits filed against Diddy, namely the one brought by Rodney Jones, also known as the producer Lil Rod. Lil Rod worked with Diddy on his Love album starting in 2022 and says he experienced months of abuse all at the hands of Diddy. In his lengthy civil suit, Lil Rod refers to these recordings saying, quote, Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones, that's Lil Rod, to record him constantly. Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in
hundreds of hours,
y'all. Activity. Lil Rod's lawsuit also lays out some other pretty disturbing claims, like that Diddy sexually assaulted him and forced Lil Rod to have sex with a prostitute. But Lil Rod's lawsuit came out swinging in more ways than one. Not only did it shed light on the dark allegations against Diddy, but it dropped some high-profile celebrity names too. First, there's Academy Award-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. Lil Rod alleges Diddy was, quote, grooming him to pass him off to his friends. This fear became reality when Mr. Combs introduced Mr. Jones to Cuba Gooding Jr. while they were on Mr. Combs' yacht. The lawsuit includes pictures of this showing Diddy with Cuba and then Cuba with his arm.
Look how weird this looks, man. Look how weird this looks. Cuba wanting some of that badussy, bro. Cuba wants some of that badussy, boy.
Arms around Little Rod. Court docs go on to say, quote, Cuba Gooding Jr. began touching, groping, and fondling Mr. Jones's legs, his upper inner thighs near his groin, and the small of his back, near his buttocks and his shoulders. He rejected his advances, and Mr. Gooding Jr. did not stop until Mr. Jones forcibly pushed him away. Here's former prosecutor Melba Pearson.
In the last couple of years, there were allegations against him for sexual assault. So now we have those prior allegations, and now we see him tied to this case as allegedly trying to, assault.
Cuba's a freak, man.
Assault others.
Back in 2019, Cuba was booked on misdemeanor charges of forcible touching and sexual abuse after allegedly groping a woman in Times Square. By the next year, 3 women had come forward accusing him of non-consensual sexual touching. He eventually reached a plea deal with prosecutors that required 6 months of counseling but no jail time. Just this summer, he appeared on Dan Abrams' Live, where he discussed those charges.
You pleaded guilty to a forcible touching misdemeanor in 2022, eventually led to a guilty plea, a lesser charge. A year later, you settled a federal civil lawsuit, 2 more civil misconduct lawsuits. Can you understand why some would say, don't want to cast this guy?
Sure, but I can also understand some people who come up to me in the street all the time and yell, show me the money, and say, hang in there, and I see what you're going through. You make movies for an audience of people, right? So right now, I'm making a movie for faith-based people who are excited to renew our hope in humanity, especially the times we're in, dealing with politics in the world, issues that are going on.
He's scared, bro.
And have you expressed regret, sorrow, apologies for what happened previously?
Everything that happens in my life is for a reason. I believe that. And if I continue to walk on my path, whatever that is, I know at the end result, it'll be to make me stronger, to be a better person, to be a better father, and right now that's the moment I'm in.
Back to Melba. She says it's possible that charges could be brought against the actor.
I'm getting the feeling where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Because now we have 2 different instances where you're accused of the same type of behavior, years apart. I think there's something there. And I don't know that Cuba Gooding Jr. is going to escape from that one, because he already saw definitely people moving away from him within Hollywood circles and other circles once those first sexual assault allegations came out. So at this point, I don't think he's going to get away with it a second time.
Is it possible that he could face charges based on these allegations that were brought forward by Lil Rod?
Cuba Gooding, bro.
It is possible as well.
Cuba Gooding.
Again, we've got the statute of limitations issue to deal with. So depending on the time frame of when this happened is, again, the Adult Survivors Act, which was the vehicle where many of these lawsuits came out, many of these civil lawsuits, came out. There was a finite amount of time for those suits.
No, I gotta go to work, boss.
The time frame is going to be very,
tonight.
very important. What witnesses come forward,
this
because
evening.
again, this may not be a situation where DNA may be at play. This may be more of a situation of, hey, yes, I was there and I recall, Cuba Gooding Jr., putting his hands on Lil Rod, or I recall certain aspects. So it's going to be a very witness-intensive type of case. And the question is, will the witnesses be willing to come forward?
Another high-profile name listed in Lil Rod's lawsuit is Jennifer Lopez.
From the standpoint of the names of the celebrities that were tied to this, the fact that Jennifer Lopez was tied to this back when she was involved in or party to a shooting at a nightclub when she was dating Diddy, and is now alleged to have brought the gun with her to the scene and gave it to Diddy, and that's how the shooting occurred.
Lil Rod's team brings up J-Lo when establishing Diddy's history, writing his, quote, RICO enterprise has existed for at least 20 years, dating back to the 1999 nightclub shooting in NYC, when Mr. Combs required his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez to transport his illegal firearm into the NYC nightclub.
She could get in trouble for that, man.
Diddy forced his then artist Shine to assume responsibility for the shooting of several individuals. The shooting happened on December 27th, 1999 at about 2:55 a.m. A fight broke out at a nightclub in New York City between Diddy, Jamal Barrow, who's known as the rapper Shine, and Matthew Allen, who went by the nickname Scar. Guns were drawn and 3 people were shot. No one suffered any life-threatening injuries, and the victims were not involved in the fight. J-Lo and Diddy fled from the scene in a car, but were later arrested and charged. J-Lo's charges were dropped, but the others stuck. Diddy was acquitted, but Shine was sentenced to 10 years in prison. He was released in 2009 and deported back to his home country of Belize. Lil Rod alleges it was Diddy who pulled the trigger, and Shine just took the fall for him. Because of this allegation, experts like former FBI agent Bobby Chacon say investigators could take a second look at the shooting. If there's a civil lawsuit that lays out this major allegation, what would it take to reopen an investigation into something that happened 25 years ago?
Well, it would take, it would take a different look at it. So, in other words, he was acquitted on the state murder charges. Now, federal charges can be different. You can have RICO, you can have continuing criminal enterprise. You can have, so the underlying act, predicate act, we used to call them when I worked RICO cases, a RICO predicate act could be something like that 1999 case, and you can use it as a predicate act. You can bring it up. You can, when I worked cold cases of this type, sometimes with the passage of time, people aren't as intimidated and they're not as threatened, and they get away from the person who was the threat, and they feel more forthcoming to testify or to give statements in lieu of testimony. But certainly, I think that that case is going to be part of it. In the aftermath of that, they have witnesses that say he bragged about intimidating witnesses, paying off jurors.
That's what he's done. He paid off
that kind of stuff, if you go back and you find that juror that was paid off, or jurors, multiple, that may have been paid off, certainly that gives you the impetus to kind of come forward and refresh those charges on a federal case. So the federal cases will be a little different. The charges are a little different, so it's not double jeopardy. And so I think that case that you mentioned, that you cite, I think is certainly one of the ones they're looking to build into a much bigger, to me, maybe a RICO type case.
We also know that federal investigators have spoken to other plaintiffs in civil cases against Diddy to learn more about his personality and what he's like in relationships. That means J-Lo is someone the feds will want to talk to if they haven't already. It also means she could be called to testify against him.
It's possible. It's absolutely possible. If I was the prosecutor handling that case, I absolutely would list her, right? But of course, we need to know whether or not she'd be cooperative. That, of course, changes the strategy when it comes to trial. So you may list someone.
Shout out to my dude, Super Cold, man. Super Cold, what up, bro? Super Coach said, "We are all super proud of you. God is good. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you, bro, with the 2222 Cash App. Thank you, Mr. Super Co. I appreciate that. I truly do." Appreciate you, bro. It's love, man.
You're necessarily going to call them. The question is whether or not their testimony is really going to help you.
Shout out to Mr. Super
There is a universe where she could testify against him in terms of, violence, in terms of his interactions with other artists, especially the folks that have been coming forward alleging that he has harmed them in some way or engaged in, human trafficking and sex trafficking. So was she aware of any of that going on? Did she see him with underage girls, or was she present for when some of those videos were taken? That little.
Here's what I feel like. I think Puffy's done these things, but I think Puffy was probably part of a much bigger thing. And he's just been allowed to get away with this over and over and over and over. And now the people of authority have switched sides on him. That's what I think. I think the people of authority, the people that could have stopped all this a long time ago, have just now finally just started saying, you know what? Get him out of here.
Rod, in
making us look bad
of those
He's
videos
causing
in his
heat.
pleadings. So, how much of that did she know? When did she know it? And what actions did she take at the time? Is that part of the reason why they broke up? We don't know. So all of this will remain to be seen. Obviously, the prosecution and law enforcement need to speak with her, get a statement from her to understand what she knows or what she could be able to testify to, and then make
J-Lo gonna give him.
But it's not just artists that Lil Rod named either. He specifically mentioned Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, in court docs. It reads in part, quote, Mr. Combs was known for throwing the best parties. Affiliation with and or sponsorship of Mr. Combs' sex trafficking parties garner legitimacy and access to celebrities, such as famous athletes, political figures, artists, musicians, and international dignitaries like British Royal Prince Harry. Why even name Prince Harry? There's no allegations against him or anything, but why bring him up?
I think it may have been a move
there's a lot of
to
YouTube
bring more
sleuths out here.
credibility to the filing and say that, basically he being Diddy, was using his fame, fortune, and influence to insulate himself. So he was able to legitimize some of the activities he was doing by having these lavish parties, bringing all these A-list celebrities, but somewhere in a back room or somewhere in another wing, horrible things were happening. So the fact that Prince Harry was there does not necessarily mean he was participating in what was happening. And just because you were at a party doesn't mean you know what's happening in every
they take up for him. You see
about
this?
it. If the
It's all good about Prince Harry. Doesn't mean he's part of it. Doesn't mean that he had anything to do with it. Anybody that was there.
Now, if you had said Prince Andrew, especially as a result of the allegations that came out in connection with the Epstein case, that they were close and that they traveled together, and there was a person that alleged that he had sexually assaulted her while she was underage. That would be a different story. But Prince Harry and the way that it was mentioned seemed to be very, again, just sort of trying to bring legitimacy and talk about these were the people that Diddy surrounded himself by to protect himself.
Prince Harry has no criminal charges or even any accusations of illegal activity, but he could still see the inside of a courtroom in a defamation case.
It's possible that Prince Harry may be able to preserve his reputation. And since it was such a minuscule mention in the greater context of this filing, he may be okay.
Another celebrity mentioned in Lil Rod's lawsuit is Young Miami, who dated Diddy from 2021 to 2023. According to the lawsuit, Young Miami's cousin assaulted Lil Rod during the Thanksgiving holiday in 2022.
Young Miami's cousin
burst into the bathroom and began groping Mr. Jones. She started undressing and attempted to straddle him and have sex with him in the presence of Mr. Combs and his staff. Similar to Prince Harry, there are no allegations against Young Miami herself, so there's probably no worry of charges being filed against her. But there could.
Let me tell you, man, you know what? It's probably, I've never been in that situation where, like, you get cornered and somebody's like, I've been in a situation where I've been cornered and a woman throws herself on me, of course. But I'm talking about, I've never been in a situation where it's weird. You know what I mean? Like this is probably very weird for young men and young women that just get cornered, bro. Like, that shit is odd, right? Like, have you ever been cornered? Has any of you men that are straight ever been cornered by another dude and made to feel, I mean, I don't know who's going to admit it, but like, or by another woman in front of other people, and they obviously wanted to have sex in front of these people? Like, you have to have a lot of self-confidence to be having sex with everybody watching? I always thought I wouldn't be able to do it. It's weird to me. I would not be able to do it. I probably wouldn't even get
charges
excited.
against some of the other people listed in Lil
Orgy
Rod's
doesn't-
lawsuit. That's people like Diddy's chief of staff, Christina Coram, who Lil
Orgy
Rod
don't
compares
do it
to
for me,
Ghislaine Maxwell, the longtime companion of Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein died by suicide in 2019
Yes,
when
sure
he
he did.
faced numerous charges of sexual assault over the course of multiple years. Maxwell was charged and found guilty of sex trafficking in relation to her time with Epstein, and she's currently serving a lengthy prison sentence. Lil Rod says Christina Coram ordered sex workers and prostitutes for Mr. Combs and ordered and distributed ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms to Mr. Combs and his celebrity guests who were present on his rented yacht and his homes in LA, NYC, and Miami. This is referenced in Diddy's indictment too, saying members and associates of the Combs enterprise, including high-ranking supervisors, security staff, household staff, personal assistants, and other Combs business employees, facilitated the freak-offs by, among other things, booking hotel rooms for the freak-offs, stocking the hotel rooms in advance with the required freak-off supplies.
Anybody that ever did any of this stuff called the hotel, said, hey, we need to book 2 rooms. One is for this, one is for that. Hey, I need to go in there and add more bottles of baby oil. We're missing 2 of them. Yeah, that's going to put you right in the middle of all this.
Including controlled substances, baby oil, lubricant, extra linens, and lighting.
Can you imagine who's selling on him right now?
These associates arranged travel for victims and...
Can you imagine who the fuck's telling? His manager, his assistant, his fucking bookkeeper, his fucking... Oh, dude, he is, he's probably getting ratted on pretty hefty. Really?
Commercial sex workers, delivered large sums of cash to Diddy to pay these sex workers, and even scheduled the delivery of IV fluids. So according to Melba, it's possible some of these associates are charged too.
None of these cases, when you have these high-profile people that have been using people over years, none of these cases happen without a handler. R. Kelly had a handler. Epstein had a handler. Weinstein had a handler.
Yeah, they say his dad was a rat.
In those scenarios of those powerful people, powerful men that are abusing other people, they have someone that does their dirty work. And it's usually not only just one person, it's several people who may have different duties. So again, seeing this woman being his handler, being the person to get him drugs, being the person to procure sex workers for him, being the person to basically be on cleanup duty in case of, covering up or silencing people that might want to come forward, that's not unusual. And she is also going to bear the brunt of criminal liability, just like Ghislaine Maxwell did, and basically had to take the entire brunt of the criminal justice system alone because of the fact that, Epstein committed suicide and was not able to be held accountable.
And we can't talk about Diddy without mentioning Cassie, the one whose lawsuit blew the lid off Diddy's alleged scheme. She filed civil suit against Diddy last November under the New York Survivor Act, meaning any sexual assault survivor could file suit against their accused predator, and the statute of limitations didn't matter. Cassie's lawsuit was settled just 1 day after it was filed, but it was still made public, dropping a laundry list of bombshells about Diddy that the public hadn't previously heard. Cassie's lawsuit outlined years of abuse by Diddy, starting when she was just 19 years old, and at the time, he was 37.
I bet they all run a raw.
Diddy was prone to uncontrollable rage and frequently beat Cassie savagely.
Crazy,
Cassie
man.
alleged Diddy forced her to use drugs and would physically beat her, rape her, or force her to have sex with prostitutes. Then there's the gun allegation that on at least 2 occasions, Diddy demanded Cassie hold his gun in her purse. The lawsuit goes on to state, quote,
I don't know if it's per se scripted, but I think most people that get to the height they're at, they've had a lot of help. They've had a lot of help. It's who they know and who they blow. That's a fact. Not everybody breaks in. breaks into being an artist. You gotta be able to rub shoulders with the right people, bro. You just have to. Like, somebody's got to get you in that door. Somebody's got to get you there. I swear to God, dude, there's a rapper here in Indianapolis. This man's been rapping for 20 fucking years, damn near. Well, about at least 10 that I know of. At least 10 where his music hits the streets, people buy it like a motherfucker, bro. He's on all mixtapes made out of Indianapolis. Like, he's been doing his thing for at least 10 years. The producer that used to do his music got signed by Bootsy. But nobody else from Indianapolis has ever really been signed to a major label. And this guy should have, man. This guy has he should have. He should have already been signed. But one thing I can say, he's always in the streets too. But
reason
you gotta
why
know
Mr. Combs
people,
required
man.
her to hold
It's
his
who
gun,
you know and who you
except to
blow,
reinforce
bro.
to his young girlfriend that he was violent,
Like, a lot of it, I
and
think,
dangerous.
is you raised up
This echoes
kids,
a
you get
similar
your kids
allegation
involved,
made
your
by Lil
kids
Rod
got a
about
friend
Jennifer
that's
Lopez's
good,
part
or
in
they
the
get thrown in.
1999 New York nightclub shooting.
Not only did Jennifer Lopez
I
allegedly
think they
bring the
keep
gun
all
to
the
the
money
club,
flowing in the
now
right
we're
same
also
people.
looking at years later, Cassie coming forward and saying that Diddy forced her to carry a gun with her when they went out to different events. So again, I think that this is more along the lines of, when you look at this from a domestic violence lens, from the standpoint of the abuser being very controlling and demanding certain activities to prove loyalty, to basically put yourself in a bad situation where only he can be the one to save you, basically. So in seeing that,
Yeah, you
the
get yourself
parallels
used to
between
the money.
J-Lo's experience and Cassie's experience, number one, it brings more credibility to what Cassie said in her pleadings. But also, again, it causes us to look at Jennifer Lopez and be like, some of the comments she made about the end of her relationship to Diddy, in terms of, well, there was infidelity, and she kind of skirted the issue a bit. But when you start to look back at her comments, you start to think, ooh, were you in a domestic violence relationship with Diddy, much like how Cassie ended up in a domestic violence relationship with him?
Cassie kind of
That
broke the
rubs me the
floodgates,
wrong
so
way,
to speak,
man.
when she made her
I
civil
hate
suit back in
such
November.
beautiful
These crazy
people.
allegations,
Don't
we've
get
never
me
heard
wrong.
anything like it
Nobody
before.
believes we
And then
beat
all of a
on them.
sudden,
These
we have
women are
several
beautiful,
more
bro.
people coming forward, and
You
then
should
more
definitely not be
witnesses
beating on these
2024.
beauties.
So we have multiple plaintiffs who are coming forward alleging very similar things.
Nobody
I'm
deserves
wondering,
to be beat
without these
on. Let
civil
me get
suits,
that right.
would we even be here right now? Would Diddy even have been arrested and indicted?
I really don't think so. Because
Now you're
Cassie's
in a new room,
lawsuit
woman. You done
opened the
changed your
floodgates,
clothes
and I
and
think it
everything.
empowered other survivors to come forward and tell their story. And when
This
Little
was pieced
Rod came
together.
forward, I think that was just another huge just a huge moment in this case, because now you have male victims coming forward, and we know statistically male
Diddy was getting
victims
that
of
Badusi
sexual
too,
assault
boy.
generally don't
I wonder if
report
Diddy was
for
a
a number
bottom
of
too.
reasons, but they many times view it as an attack on their masculinity, and they're very concerned about how they would be viewed publicly. And Little Rod was brave, which I really commend his bravery in standing up and saying, listen, this is what
expose
happened
them.
to me. And that empowered more and more folks to come forward, including most
Nah, keep
recently
exposing them.
Danity Kane,
We need
one of the
people
members
like
of
that.
Danity Kane, stating that he had abused her, and she had witnessed the abuse he had levied on others. So I think that all of these voices coming forward and saying, listen, there's something here, the feds took notice. And even though they may not have been public about it at first, we knew, obviously, when they searched the houses, we knew that this was getting very serious. But they were monitoring this the minute that Cassie filed her lawsuit. And when they
I
read
agree.
those
Shout out to Cassie.
allegations,
Can we give
I can
Cassie a
assure
round of
you
applause,
that
y'all?
investigation started
For real, because it
immediately.
takes a
And
lot
then
of
as
guts.
more and more survivors came forward, again, the feds would be going and interviewing each of those people, seeing what evidence they have. So, for instance, do they have
Can we give
maybe some
Cassie a
cell phone
round
footage,
of
or can
applause,
they
dude?
substantiate
Because
what occurred to them in other ways? Maybe
it
all
only
of
takes
text
the first
messages,
person
emails,
to come out and
all
not
of
be
these
scared of
things
what Diddy
are
will do.
aspects that the feds
Or
are
if no
able to
one's going to
use to
believe
now
you.
bring in their case in
By
chief
God, people
against
believe
people.
Cassie, didn't they?
Months ago, we reported that
Because he
Cassie was
signed that
working with federal
lawsuit within
investigators in the
24
case
hours. He said, no, I don't want to go to motherfucking trial with you. Hell nah. Less than 24 hours, Diddy signed away $30 million. You have a good one too, CD. I got to get off here soon too because I got to do a few things before I go to work. That sucks, but it's what life's about, man. Plus, this is all OT right now. I was in OT 1 hour before I left last night. So I was like, come on with it. I'll come in tomorrow too. Fuck it. And I go in a little earlier today. But I may have a live tonight. I may pass. I'll let you guys know in like a community post or whatever if I'm going to go live. We'll see what what cometh of the day, right? AD's known to be coming home from work to go live
against Diddy. We
we'll
can't
see
know
what
for
cometh
sure
of the
whether
day.
she testified in the grand jury hearing that would ultimately indict Diddy, but it's likely at least some of his accusers did.
I do believe that a number of the survivors would have testified. I don't
Really,
think
dog?
that they would have brought all of them because of the fact that, number one, you want to testifying is traumatizing, especially when you're talking about the most awful day likely of your life and some very degrading things that happen to you.
Diddy's
And you
going
have to
to
tell that to a
prison,
bunch
bro.
of people you don't know. So it's you have to be very cautious in when and how you bring your victims and your survivors to testify, and think about that in terms of your strategy. Because again, you may want to save some of the survivors for the actual trial if this does go to trial, and maybe just pick one or two that make the point, right? And then you can fill it in with more evidence as the trial proceeds. But you don't necessarily have to show all of your evidence to the grand jury. You just pick the strongest pieces of evidence so that, again, you're not burning your survivors out before they get
You know
to
what,
the point.
Miss Kim? You ain't ugly either. You ain't ugly either. So I don't know what the fuck Brandy talking about. Kim, not ugly, bro. I bet you was a murderer when you was younger, Kim. I'm getting old too, baby doll. Me too. She said, for funding this war, it's the beat down. All right. Hold on. Kimberly, you said it. You shall get it.
Right now, 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 right now.
Man, I've got. Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do, Kimberly. I bet you do. No doubt about it. I bet you do. You go, mama. Because you're not ugly. By far, you can tell you're not ugly. I can't really see off your Cash App picture and all that. But you're not ugly. I don't know what the fuck Brandy talking about. Boy,
Point of
we got a woman walking around, dressing and acting just like a boy because she's an ugly woman. And she's got the nerve to call people ugly. Think about that for 1 second. We got a woman that is walking around, dressing, talking, walking, and trying to act just like a boy because she cannot be a woman because she's an ugly ass woman. Calling people ugly.
trial
Some fucking nerve.
unnecessarily. Obviously, they do have to testify and tell their story so
Do your
that
thing,
the
mama.
jury has something
Be careful, man.
to
Them
deliberate
youngins
on.
might try
But
to
at
use
the
you,
same
Kim.
token, you don't want to push them too much because, again, that trauma is very real.
She
And
doesn't
even if
make
they
a good
are
woman.
getting
She don't
assistance
look good
through
as a woman, dude.
counseling or something
If she
along
puts
those
on a wig,
lines, it's still a
if
lot.
she fucking puts on a wig, bro, she looks like a tranny. She looks like a boy trying to look like a girl. And that's just the truth. She don't pull off being a woman well. Not at all. I like this. Go ahead and try it again, Brandy. Why don't you do it for us? Why don't you come up here and dress like a woman for us? Do your best, too. I still bet you look like a boy.
Have to talk about it, especially in such a huge with the huge media frenzy around it, and so many people weighing in, and whether it be social media or other celebrities or things like that. So those are some of the things I think the assistant U.S. attorney would have been considering when deciding who should be brought in front of the grand jury to testify.
And when it comes time for trial, we could
Man,
expect to hear from
witnesses at the
Cassie
grand
or
jury
other accusers
testifying
in
is
federal
ugly,
court.
Diddy.
You're bringing up a really good point because, as you said, this is probably one of the darkest times of these survivors' lives. And they have to come forward with these serious allegations and relive the trauma that I'm sure they've been working to overcome. It's really tough. But
I hope you're feeling
we're seeing
good.
that a lot of them are going to testify at the trial, whenever that may be. And there are several accusers that have to go through and do all of that. What would it look like at the trial then?
At the trial, now the key is the U.S. Attorney's Office has to make sure that they're not going too far afield with bad character evidence. We saw how that kind of backfired in the Harvey Weinstein case, where, as well as the Bill Cosby case, where other instances were brought in that were maybe not as close in time, or more so not really enlightening the jury about what happened in the charges that were in the indictment, but more so he's just a really bad, horrible, predatory person.
Shout out to
That may
him,
be
man.
the truth. However, when
Shout
it
out to
comes to
English. How you
proving the
doing,
charges at
baby?
hand, you have to be very focused on making sure the jury understands what happened during the time frames that are specified in the indictment.
Yes,
And so
there's definitely
if
darker
some
times.
of these other survivors, let's say something happened 10 years ago, that might be too far in time for them to be able to testify. But if we're talking about an instance of something that happened last year, for instance, that might be closer in time to allow them to be able to testify. And again, if they have specific knowledge about certain aspects of the indictment, of course, they'll be brought to testify. But again, you have to be very cautious, because you want to be able to preserve, if you're able to get a conviction, you want to be able to preserve it on appeal by not making these types of errors.
After his indictment this week, Diddy pleaded not guilty to all charges and was denied bond twice. A statement from his legal team reads, quote, Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon,
English. I feel so
self-made
sorry for you,
entrepreneur,
man.
loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has
I
spent the
feel
last
so
30
sorry for
years
you,
building
English.
an
I
empire.
went through that shit, man. I understand where you didn't have the energy to type. Like dude, I'll be honest, I didn't have the energy to even pay attention to the TV I was watching. I was just like, I couldn't change the channel. I was just like, oh my God, that shit whooped me down. And I'm a big ass baby when I get sick too. I'm a big baby. Like, that's when I need a woman for sure, for sure. I get sick, boy. Oh my Lord. Yeah, I've been working a lot. Yeah. I'm glad I did, man, because they only got me scheduled next week for 4 days. And then I'm off Monday and Tuesday after that to move the rest of my stuff. And then I took the day off after I moved. I took the first off. I don't want to go to work after moving. I said, give me that day off too. Fuck it. Yeah, it's not good if it's your first time, baby. I had it bad.
Adoring his children and working to uplift
It's horrible,
the Black
man.
community.
That's a horrible
He is an
sickness.
imperfect person, but is not criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide.
Wow.
And he looks forward to clearing his name in court. More updates are sure to come in the case.
You know what? I feel like his attorney sucks. I do. I feel like his attorney blows, dude. Why do I feel that way? Why do I feel like Diddy's attorney sucks? He does. I feel like he blows, bro. He's definitely not a Brian Steele, I don't think. Diddy's going to prison, y'all. Yeah, definitely hydrate. I say that. Dude, I remember when me and my mom both had COVID. We both had it. And she was able to get up and go to the fucking pharmacy for us. I couldn't even go to the pharmacy. She did it. That's how we found out she had cancer, guys. COVID brung that shit out. Sure did. That's when we found out, man. I got health. We both got sick, healed from the COVID, but my mom never got well. She stayed throwing up and her back hurting. And then I told her to definitely go to the doctor. And then when she went to the doctor, they sent her to the hospital. They told her she wasn't looking good. She was jaundiced. It's all love, baby girl. I don't think about it badly anymore. It crosses my mind, Like I'll sit around. I'll be thinking at work while I'm working. And last night I thought about her, and I thought about when I went in there and found her dead. I remember looking at her body, I was kind of shocked. I walked out the first time, and I was like, "Nah, she's good. I'm gonna let her rest." And then I paced a few times for probably 5 minutes. I paced. Then I was like, something told me to go back in there and look again. And her chest, your hubs last month. It was her last few days that haunt me. It was probably her last 5 days. 'Cause that chemo kicked her ass, man. It did. I feel like chemo is what killed her. She just couldn't take it. But that's the only thing we had left to try to fight it, man. It's all we had left. So we were trying. We were definitely giving it a shot. It haunts me, but not a bad way. I believe she's definitely proud of me, bro. She has no choice but to be. She's probably smiling and happy as hell, bro. I know that. When I got approved for the apartment, I cried. I was like, well, looks like we're moving, Mom. Because, I told her I would do that. I told her I would move. No, we did have COVID, Trail. We did. We both caught COVID. And then I got healed. Like, I healed from COVID. And then all her symptoms of COVID left. But then her back pain got worse. And she started throwing up. And then she got yellow, like in her eyes. It went on for like 10 days after we all had COVID and was gone. I said, all right, you're going to have to go to the hospital because she kept throwing up. She wouldn't go to the hospital. I said, well, at least make a damn doctor's appointment for me and go see your doctor. She said, okay. Well, she went to see her doctor and they sent her to the ER. And that's when they did scans and everything and found out. Yeah, I think COVID's what helped bring it to the surface. You know what I mean? Because she did complain about her lower back a lot to her real doctor, but that was like years she did this. So she probably had signs of it, and the doctor didn't care to catch it. Salute, Penny. Yeah, I'm not gonna ever let it. I'm just gonna do everything to keep making her proud. I got children to make proud. I got fucking grandchildren now. I can't just stop now, bro. I couldn't give up on life now if I tried. That would be so stupid of me. Like, God only gives you this one time, yo. God gives you this one fucking chance, you guys. And you don't get no redos. There ain't no fucking redos, man. I'm at 440. Penny helping, bro. He keeping counting shit for me. It's the AD that keeps me going. I'll be honest, man. My YouTube channel helps a lot by keeping me going. I'd keep going anyway. Like, I have no choice, but like this YouTube channel keeps me going. Let me get out a drink. I'll chill for a minute. I just like that's what I figured in life, man. Like your grandbabies. Yeah, I love my grandbaby, bro. He's so fucking cute. He's a beautiful boy. You know how little babies could be beautiful? He's a beautiful little boy, man. His eyes are stunners. He's got blue eyes, man. I think we all have a reason to live. I think we all do. Like, even if we don't have children, I think our parents are enough reason to live. Dude, when it come time for my mom to need me, it wasn't even a question, bro. 6 grandbabies, good for you. It wasn't even a question. I just I told her, yes. Yeah. We'll move in together. She wasn't feeling good. Then we found out she had cancer, and I'm glad we did move in together. Glad we did. I felt like it was my duty, you know. I felt like it was my duty. We all know there's going to come a time in life where our parents will get old. They will need us. They will. And my mom did that for me. She raised me up since she was wiping my ass. She was feeding me baby bottles. She made sure my little ass lived all the way till I was old enough to take care of myself. Damn, 40. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, my mom was my best friend there at the end. When we would go out, bro, they would think that my mom was my sister or my wife. That's for real. When we would go to the store, people would think that that's my wife or my sister. She's a trip, dude. She would walk up, and when we went to the grocery store, she would go down every single fucking aisle, no matter if we needed something in that aisle or not, guys. Like, we would go down the baking aisle. Wouldn't need flour, wouldn't need sugar, wouldn't need nothing down this aisle. But damn it, if she didn't have to go down looking at everything on each side, bro. I would get so mad at her for that. So mad. I'd be yelling through the store like, God damn it. I ain't come to the fucking store to goddamn window shop. She was a trip, bro. Every single fucking aisle, man. And then there at the end, after she was sick and things like that, it wouldn't even bother me. I let her go in. I put her in one of those little scooter things, bro, and she'd be gone. I just let her go, dude. I swear. She was a fun person to be around too, bro. She was. She was fun. She was not a party pooper. She didn't like when I drank. She hated when I drank because I'd always get in trouble. She was a trip, man. Mighty good soul. You go up and down the aisle too? Yes, she was a yard selling fool too. Yep. As good as her fashion sense was, she had no problem stopping at a yard sale if she seen something there she wanted. Not at all. That's what I'm thinking about. Maybe a yard sale for like stuff from my crib. But I don't want no furniture in there. I'm talking like tables and shit. I need to get a few. I'm probably going to need to get at least 2 end tables. Well, I got one, but I'm gonna need one for my bedroom too. Yeah, because I don't got one here. Hey, man, I want you guys to have a beautiful day. We will be going live later, so please come in late night. Be just like last night, y'all. Only I'll have to get off sooner because I have to be at work at 8 in the morning tomorrow, or 6. Sorry, 8. She not here to keep you in line, so you got to keep yours in line. That's the truth. That's so much the truth, guys. No, I didn't see no lantern flies. That'd be dope. I haven't really looked though. Maybe I should look for them. Anyway, shout out to you, Penny, man. Shout out to the whole chat. Thank you guys. Thank you, Superco. Thank you, Kimberly, for funding this war. You guys are the best. Please stay tuned, man. We're going to be dropping new videos on Aggressive Defiance Files. Y'all go over there. Aggressive Defiance Files. Go over there and sub. I will be dropping a new video or two today. A new video or two.
Right now, 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 right now.
Wrong outro, huh? I got fucking stoned up here early. Hey, you chill. You already know me. You already know, Mia. You've been driving all night. Take you a break, girl. Take you a break. You a warrior out here. I see you. Do your thing, y'all. Chat. Go subscribe. Aggressive Defiance Files. We're putting all the dope shit over there. There's going to be some fire going up on there today. Salute to y'all in the chat. I love y'all. Stay tuned tonight for our live stream.
I gon' come with safety. The only time I'm safe is when I'm dangerous. Posted in the 30 with this 30, trying to leave them brainless. We still in the jets, exactly where them boys say we ain't hanging. Put cheese on my head, I come collect that shit. You think I'm playing? Trouble hop out busting at it, brother. Miss you know I'm hitting. We got O's and Bo's in here, and we got wood cook in the kitchen. If I say go get them, they go get them. Young boy fingers itching, fingers squeezing on the trigger. They heard all them glitches. Money man, I run it up. If I fall off, I'm poking shit. Told that bitch quit asking questions. I hate all that notice shit. We send shots the whole year round, no ring around the road and shit. My little bro, he makes you vanish. He with hocus pocus shit. Chopper bust, they hit the ground. It's too many sticks around. We known to get greasy, pussy. Don't you have your bitch around? Switch up on this bitch. I catch him deep, get a whole click around. Put us in the midst of shit that we ain't do. We spinning now. Bitch keep trying to tell me slide. Then she trying to set the pick. Other hoes been tripping, texting my bitch on that messy shit. Left the boy out there with his brains out, yeah, that's that messy shit. Bought another Glock, let's